No one's really talking about this because the problem is money controls everybody. Controls me too. Controls everybody. And I'm not comfortable with that fact. So the potential that something could still happen keeps everybody quiet.
Hey guys, welcome to Talking Strongman. I am joined by former Britain's strongest man, the one and only Oli Thompson. Now, Oli is an MMA fighter, and obviously there's big talks recently about this Finishers Championship. Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, Martin Ford, and Mitch Hooper supposed to be stepping their foot into the MMA circle, or square, or octagon as it is in the UFC. But you saw this. This is the Finishers Championships. I know when it kind of all came out, you were trying to get yourself onto that card, and you actually did get yourself on this card. Just very recently, it's been postponed.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a few other fighters that were on the card that have been complaining about stuff. Now, I've kept very quiet about this because I didn't really want to get too involved. Obviously, I coach Mitch Hooper, but that's strongman. Had nothing to do with the fight. I had a chat with him when it came about, and obviously as a friend, he's telling me he's been offered this amazing chance to make some huge money and step foot into a different sport.
How did you feel about that when he talked about the possibility of that? Are you not keen on that?
Well, two things. Firstly, he's my friend first and foremost. So he came to me with this opportunity to make some decent money, way bigger money that was being talked about than you can make in strongman. So obviously I want my mate to do well, but the only kind of advice I said was just make sure you get some money beforehand. I obviously wanted him to keep focused on, he's got the Arnold Classic, World's Strongest Man coming up. So, and he was like, I'm going to focus on them, but I've got this opportunity and I'd be a fool to turn it down.
Oh, for sure. 100%. 100%. Mitchell is different to the other guys, and he's right now, isn't he? He's now.
Yeah. So the other guys are retired. It's a bit different.
It's more risky for Mitchell than it is for anyone else in physically.
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be happening this month, obviously, a couple of weeks' time, and then he's got the Arnold Classic in March. So from a coach's point of view, obviously, it wasn't what I wanted, but you have to adapt, and everyone's different that you work with.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously, you managed to get yourself on this card. Now, the numbers that this company were chucking out there, I mean, it was ambitious. I think that's me being polite.
The initial posts were talking about breaking records for attendance, pay-per-views. The posters had Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, GSP. I don't know how I found my way on the card, you know what I mean? But obviously Ed Hall, who's a world household name now, as we know. Martin Ford is quite a big name. I don't think he's a bigger name. He's not in sports, but he's still quite well known. And he looks immense.
A lot of great films that he's been in now, doing well acting, and a decent fighter from what I've seen. Especially, I'm not comparing him to pros, but probably better than the strongmen, to be honest.
But he works hard. He works hard, doesn't he? You got to give him that. He works hard. And obviously, Brian Shaw. Brian's a legend, as we know, especially for me and you. From where we come from, we respect these guys. So they were talking about these massive numbers, and obviously talking about paying these guys, not me, but paying these guys a lot of money, which will make sense. And I'm all for the guys. Whether it's me, you, my friends, Felix, Darren, anyone, I'm all for the guys making money because it's hard for us to make money.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're a very talented bunch, I think it's fair to say, for our level of pay.
Yeah, I mean, strongman's improved a lot since you and me were competing at our best, and it's great to see that. But it's certainly not top fighting money. Firstly, how did you get your name onto this card? Because obviously, you saw these guys, and I know you've sort of talked about maybe having a fight with Mariusz Pudzianowski at some point. I know that's a fight you'd like to have. How did you get onto it, and kind of what's your dealings with them been like?
Well, I'm a businessman now, Loz. As I'm sure you are to a certain degree. We're passionate about what we do, but at some point, we start doing what we do for the love of it, and at some point, it has to become a business as well to enable it to continue. So I'm a businessman at this point. I'm 44 years old, and I'm seeing this. I'm getting tagged in this show where Ed Hall's fighting, strongman fighting, and it perks my interest, obviously, because it's opportunity. I see opportunity. It's a good fit for me as far as how they're marketing it. So I just started dropping them messages. I'm quite good at that. I've been doing that for many years now. Just finding opportunities in nothing. I'm sure you are as well. I'm sure you are as well. We get good at this, especially when you come from where we come from.
Yeah.
You know, when we're trying to find stuff. I mean, you're very successful now, but it takes time and being a chancer, doesn't it? You have to be a chancer for a while. And I'm still that guy.
You got to keep drafting, mate. It's the only way.
Yeah. So I'm sending out messages, and then I get a response. And they're talking about, yeah, we're interested in having you fight. We'll message you soon. We'll give you a call. Give me your number. So I was like, oh, that sounds great. Sounds great. So I have a fight booked already in Russia a month after for December. And then they call me and they said they're talking numbers and figures and what they're doing, and they're going to pay me in advance. And it sounds amazing. It sounds too amazing, but amazing. And I'm talking to some of these guys. I had a brief little exchange with Martin. I began talking to Eddie. I didn't really know Eddie. Me and Eddie never crossed paths in Strongman. He was after me. We kind of like changed places at a similar sort of time, to be fair. Obviously, I know of Eddie. I'm sure Eddie knows of me because we have our own backgrounds and stuff. So I started talking to Eddie, and we were talking about some training because I said, yeah, I'm involved. I know you're involved. And we were going to do some training, some promotional stuff, get some content as you do.
Yep.
It would have been pretty cool for him because it gives him that sort of legitimacy, if you like, a little bit, which he's got. It makes you training with lots of good guys, and it gives me a little bit of a connection to what's going on and what's happening as well. So that's what we were doing, and the contract negotiations are not normally as easy as these ones.
Okay. Because just to kind of put everyone in the picture, I mean, we've been friends a long time. We're good friends back in Strongman, and I saw your post online about these guys.
Which one?
Well, the one last night when you who wants to hear the real story behind it? I'm like, yeah, I want to hear this, Oli.
I'm so glad you reached out, because the problem we have here, right, is I don't care about this show anymore. I don't care what I could have. Though I've been good to them, they haven't been good to me, so I've got nothing to worry about. No one's really talking about this, because the problem is money controls everybody. Controls me too. Controls everybody. And I'm not comfortable with that fact. So the potential that something could still happen keeps everybody quiet. And I understand. I do understand. Some of them are talking about 7, 8 figures. It's worth waiting for. Just off the off chance. I'm not talking about 8 figures. I'm not in prison. I'm not in that prison. I'm free. I'm free. So, and I'm in this game a long time before. I'm not in this game a long time now. I'm just enjoying my last hurrah, if you like. Yeah. So I want to talk about it. People aren't really talking about it. I know, like, Laurence is a friend of mine. I know he's talked about it a little bit. I know you haven't spoken too much about it, because I know, obviously, your connection to Mitchell, you have a loyalty to sort of keep things to his mouth, not yours.
The thing is, like, and I'm going to put this out there, like, I've had nothing to do with this. I'm not Mitch's coach for this. I have nothing to do with any of the contracts. I focus on Mitch's strongman training. That's what that's my relationship. I'm a friend of his and his strongman coach. As a friend, we had a brief discussion about this. And, if someone's dangling these millions of dollars in front of you, even if there is a fraction of a chance of it happening, you're kind of hoping, and I think, I saw a post by, is it John Wayne Parr? I don't know.
John Wayne, yeah.
I saw this post, and I'm guessing most of the strongmen have had a similar contract to this.
Probably the same.
Talking $20 million. That's what, it was on this John Parr's.
It's absolute madness. Do you know what the craziest thing is? I got loads of time with John Wayne, was a real legend, and I've had a little few exchanges with him. Good guy as well, good dude. But the reality is, they're offering John Wayne $20 million. They could have offered him $1 million. He'd have been really excited about it.
Yeah, I was saying, like, because one of the in the contract, it's saying, I think 16 weeks before, or 16 weeks or 16 days, whatever, you're supposed to get $1 million. And then, before the fight, they were supposed to get $6 million.
Yeah. So, well, I was supposed to get half my money.
Before you have to fight, I'm fighting my mum for that money, mate.
Yeah. Well, I'm fighting your mum for that money too. And mine. But they offered, my contract basically said, if you sign the contract today, we'll pay you tomorrow half.
Right.
Half the money up front.
And did you sign the contract?
What do you think?
And did any money come in?
I was signing it while I was still on the Instagram, and I signed it, And then apparently the money was going to be paid the next day. And I went through the contract. Bearing in mind, I signed I had a contract before I even agreed any money.
Okay.
I just waited for the contract and read it and said, that's agreeable.
Yep.
Because it was agreeable. No negotiation needed for me. I don't need millions. I like millions, but I don't need millions.
Sure.
I'm not that guy. The selling point of the show was the big boys.
Yeah.
I'm a medium boy now, mate. I'm not a big boy anymore. So, and that's all the social media following that comes with it. You know, I haven't played that game. It's funny that game you kind of caught it, didn't you? You caught it just as I was finishing. I never caught a social media game to get that following. You know, you've sort of caught it quite well.
I've been lucky to sort of catch it after my career. It's you know, when you were competing, there was nothing, and you know, towards the end of my career, some people were starting to sort of pick up on it. It wasn't something I ever thought of as an athlete. Now it's part and parcel. It's
No, mate, separate conversation. But you've done really well there, mate. You've not been stubborn at a sort of like slightly older age to try and build it up, which we can be, can't we? Like, nah, social media, I'm not doing that kind of game. Yeah. You accepted it probably when I didn't to play the game, and that's my stubbornness, and that's credit to you for doing that.
But you know, it's tough these days because, like, you know, if we talk about the strongmen that are on this card, you are the most accomplished fighter. There's no question about that. But you know, it's popularity that puts bums on seats and attracts people to buy pay-per-views, etc. So, you know, as fighters, as sportsmen, whatever it is, strongmen, athletes in various different sports now, they are utilizing social media to make money, to promote events. And you know, it's a legitimate way of making money these days.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
You've always been very much, you know, it's all about winning and being the best that you can be, being the best athlete you can be, which I massively admire. You're not someone that talks and builds up a fight. You like action.
No. I mean, I've tried to sort of like, again, not be too stubborn and get involved a little bit. And you probably see sometimes in my social media posts, even relating to my old strongman career, but mainly my fighting career, is I will talk a little bit now, you know, about how I see myself, because you can't be too shy in this game. You have to promote yourself. No one will do it for you.
No, you're absolutely right. You know, I mean, I can tell you, like, you know, for strongman fans, Oli Thompson was pulling 410 kilos way before anyone was pulling 410 kilos. You know, you were probably one of the real powerhouses. You'd probably have done better in strongman a few years later.
I think you're right. You know what? I love hearing you say these things, because when I say them, I don't love it. I don't love me saying them, but I love it being said.
You're similar to me. You know, it's always nice when people talk about you. You don't want to talk about yourself. But that's your humble side, and you know, you're always a great competitor. You weren't someone that talks.
No.
You know, Oli was. You were up near 200 kilos on the overhead when people were doing 160 to win competitions.
Yeah.
I remember coming to train with you, and I was like, "Damn, this guy's like an absolute beast." Obviously, the sport has progressed, and now we do have some, you know, incredible strong.
I was thinking earlier. I know it's off subject. I was thinking, because I knew we were going to talk to him today, so I was thinking earlier, just going through some old times and that, because it's a long time ago now, man.
It is,
and it's funny because with me and you, we were never really rivals, were we? Because it didn't quite get to that point.
No, you sort of like just beat me.
Well, but at that point in time as well.
Yeah, and I think I beat you in one comp, but you were sort of on the way out then. You had already decided you wanted to sort of do, you know, pursue mixed martial arts. And then I think we just became friends because I was on my way up. You were helping me a little bit, and then I came and watched a couple of your fights, and you know, you were doing a different thing. So we didn't have that competitive rivalry.
Yeah. So we never got to that point because as it goes in sports, the best clash at the top. Yeah. But me and you got such quite wholesome because we never actually had that. like when I did beat you, Lars, I was supposed to beat you at that time.
Sure. Yeah.
So and before it got to the point where I don't know how that will go, we weren't competing against each other anymore. It's really nice to see you doing well, but it's just like it's just funny because in another, I love our friendship, but another part of me would have loved us to explore that.
Yeah, it would have been fun.
Do you get me?
I would have loved it, but obviously, you know, different paths and all that. But yeah. I've said this many times. You, Terry, Mark Felix, big inspirations that help elevate my career as well. because I was like, oh, these guys are damn strong. I need to elevate myself, and that's what I'm chasing. And that's how we all. I think if you look at the standard in the UK now, obviously the guys that came after Eddie Hall, Tom Stoltman, Luke Stoltman, Adam Bishop, Graham Hicks, all these kind of crazy talented guys. They had guys like us to look up to and push them. And there's probably a younger generation now looking up at the likes of Tom Stoltman that could hopefully be even better at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Always good. But we could talk about strongman all day.
Oh, no, sorry, mate. That's me. I had to go there.
We will talk more about strongman, but I want to kind of keep the focus on.
Yeah. My bad.
No. It's all good, mate. I'm sure lots of people want to hear more about your strongman as well. But talk to me about what you were promised. I mean, you don't have to go into figures and stuff, but like John Wayne's post, he's talking $20 million. Now, I'm guessing, you're looking at the card, most of the strongmen have been offered that. I'm going to, if someone even gives me a hope that I can make $20 million, you accept it. You do.
If my contract was $20 million, I probably still wouldn't talk to you now. It's been great. I probably wouldn't.
But just some of the numbers. I mean, like I was looking on their Instagram and their website. So the website's saying they've got 1 billion plus social media hits. Now, okay, I know a hit can just mean like a few seconds on something, but they've got about 1,000 followers on the Instagram page. I don't believe they've ever done an event before, and they're talking about 7 super fights, the biggest prize purse. They're talking, I think at one point they were talking 50 million pay-per-views.
Yeah, that's impossible.
That's like, I think Mayweather Pacquiao was like 4.5 million, which is
that's massive. That's massive.
And I mean, John Jones, heavyweight champion in the UFC, earning what, 6 million in his last fight, something like that.
Yeah. Sometimes these Middle Eastern shows, they're different because they're not profit based.
Yeah.
So you can believe they still pay you to a certain extent. It's believable because everyone's getting paid out there right now. Saudi, Qatar. So everybody wants a piece of that pie.
Absolutely.
Every sport, whether it's strongman, fighting, someone backstage is trying to talk to someone over there to try and say, do you want to see some of this? Because it might not last forever. And it's where else can you go? Where else can you go? So it's the hotbed. And when the opportunity comes up and it comes towards you, you think it's your day. This is my time. Wow. And I got a nice offer on contract. Basically, all I've been asked wasn't what I wanted, because I don't like being asked that, because I want it all. I want it all. But
you're a man with a family. You want to be able to provide for them. You want to provide security for them.
Yeah. So they said, what did you get paid last fight? I told them I got paid last fight. And they said, oh, okay, well, we can pretty much double that.
Nice.
And I said, I said, okay, we'll see. Send me the contract. I said, that's all works for me. What we're talking about here works for me. Contract came through, and it was just around double what I got last time. It wasn't 7 figures and stuff like that. I'm not in that league, unfortunately. But I am available for any work at all. If you're watching this, that involves 7 figures.
Any promoters that want a former strongman? To be fair, you've fought in the UFC.
Either of us, right?
You fought everywhere now, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been around the world, mate. So I'm just enjoying. It's a business now. I'm just enjoying myself. I take fights that I enjoy doing. No cheap fights now. I want to get paid now.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I thought I'd sign it and get it. And then I read the contract after I'd signed it and sent it back. And it had a clause of a non-compete clause between then and the show. And I had a fight booked in 4 weeks after in Russia. They knew about it. So I said, look, guys, before you send me I'm an honest guy. I'm not honest. I'm not a thief. I said, look, guys, the contract says I can't fight, but I'm fighting. So are we still good to go? They said, yeah, what we'll have to do is hold your advance off until the Russia fight. We'll fly you to Qatar the day after the flight from Russia, do a medical here, then we'll pay you your 50%.
Okay.
Fast, I'm thinking, I'd rather not wait. I'd rather, a bird in the hand's worth more, as we say, you know what I mean? I'd rather have it in my hand. And so I waited, and the Russia fight got cancelled for different reasons. It's another story. I messaged them and said, look, there's no fight now, so we're good to go. Let's get this advance going, and I can start promoting your event. There's no promotion, no adverts, no posters.
Very, very odd, wasn't it?
But I can make a post. I don't need budget. I can make a poster in my living room. Not a very good one. But
that's what some athletes are great at now, aren't they? Some athletes are just amazing at selling fights and selling pay-per-views.
Exactly. So I start talking to people. I start talking to the fighters, the strongmen, my opponent who I've got. I found my own opponent. I got him on board myself.
Right.
Put him in touch with him. A guy, he's not a friend, but he was a good fighter who was my size, and he was up for it. He made a deal. So I wanted to start promoting it. I want to see the poster. When you see a poster, it becomes real. You like in a fight, you like, oh yeah, that's the poster. Now I'm really fighting. Otherwise, you're a bit dubious. And there was no posters, and there was no deposit. And it got to Christmas, and I'm like, still no deposit. Where's my deposit, guys? And he said, oh, we forgot about yours. We've sent some payments out, but we didn't do yours. So we'll do yours the next batch. I've got no reason to doubt this at this point in time.
Yeah.
I am doubting it, but I've got no reason to really doubt it.
Sure.
Certainly not expose it. And I'm thinking, I don't want to message these guys like the other guys, have you been paid? That's money talk. We don't really talk about that stuff too much to each other. It's our own personal business. But some of the guys will talk to me as well, because if we respect each other, we can talk. And they were waiting for money as well. Everyone's waiting for money. Yeah. So I'm thinking, someone's been paid. Well, no, they haven't. That's a lie. That's the first lie. The first lie is the worst lie in life, right? Because then you're like, now you're willing to lie to me. It's an issue for me. But I'm holding out. Christmas goes by. I could do with the money. My Russia fight cancelled. I lost out on a lot of money in Russia. And I haven't got my deposit. The Russia fight, I would have pushed for it still, despite the adversity I had with it, if I knew I wasn't getting a deposit. So there was a lot of issues going on. And I needed the funds because my funds were locked up in different places. And in the new year, deposits come in, posters come in. I'm thinking, boy, I'm not preparing for this like the others are unless I know it's happening. Because I know the boys like Brian, Ed, they're all training and respecting them for that as well. Because it's new to them. But I'm not going to put myself through what I put myself through fully without knowing this is happening. I would never ask for a deposit in a fight contract, ever.
Really?
Ever. Okay. I would never expect one. But when you put it in the deal, then I expect it.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't turn up, then I'm annoyed because it didn't show up. Because now I'm questioning your ethics.
Yeah.
If you never mentioned it, I'd still be training for it now. That's the issue. But it's a new show, so it's trust issues, isn't there? You don't know what the deal is with them. But
absolutely. It's very different when you've worked with someone before and you've built up that rapport and that trust. Yeah. And you've gone there and you've been paid before. You've got no reason to trust them. Whereas now we're living in a world where trust isn't so easy to build.
No, of course.
Actions speak a lot more than words, obviously.
Yeah, 100%. So we got to the new year, and then there's another reason now why you're not getting paid at the moment, because they want you to redo the contract with a witness and what do they call it? Not guarantor, they want this person to sign off on your signatures to make sure they're guaranteed in Qatar, they're legal in Qatar. It's like, okay, that's a pain in the ass, but I'll find someone. It's like, cost you £200-300, I'll find someone, and everyone's doing it. Well, I know all the other boys are doing it because the email went out to everybody. I was CC'd in the emails.
Yeah.
All right, get this done fast. £300, got it done. Sent a new contract. Yeah, that's all good. Deposit will be out in the next few days. A few days passes. No money gone out. Everyone's waiting for money. And social media posts of training are going up and getting taken down because people are obviously getting worried. There's red flags all over the shop. It's like a flag shop, it's everywhere. And then we're getting closer, maybe a month ago. And there was a new reason. The One Championship have got an event there 2 weeks after finishes. One Championship, the big Chinese company.
Yep.
So there's an issue with that. So we're not paying you yet. I think, what's the issue? That's nothing to do with us. And then we never really got explained properly. And that just dragged on. And I thought, we're like 4 or 5 weeks out from the fight now. So I messaged these guys. And I'm not calling out these guys today because I'm trying not to be that guy.
Sure.
But I'm being honest as well. I'm being honest.
And I think that helps, younger fighters. There's a lot of people that will kind of just believe everything they're told. And these, you and me have been screwed over enough times in various different sports to be a little bit wary, I guess, at times.
For sure. So, and then it got to the point where I was messaging. How long has it been cancelled? 3 or 4 weeks ago it got cancelled now, right? It's properly cancelled. I don't know what Mitchell got told, what Eddie got told. I know what I got told. Probably the same thing. But I was messaging them. They weren't messaging me. I messaged them and said, look, guys, no posters, no adverts, no deposit. Can't see anything happening. No plane tickets. I'm getting offered other fights I'm turning down out of good faith to you, because I'm with you. I'm riding with you. I promised you. I'm keeping my word. I said, if this isn't going to happen or might not happen, tell me now, please.
Yeah.
In them words, basically. Quite honest, quite decent. He said, don't worry, the show will go ahead. Don't worry about the other offers. 2 days later, messages me saying, unfortunately, the show's off. So that told me a lot about it, because I've got kids to feed.
Absolutely.
I've got kids to feed. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing now. I wouldn't punish myself anymore. Like yourself, right? When we start off and that, we'll do this stuff because this is like what gives us our adrenaline rush. This is what we love. And we still love it, but it gets to a point where I probably wouldn't do it anymore, but for the bonuses.
Sure.
And strongman can be like that as well. We get a buzz out of it. I'm sure you missed the raw, the lights.
Absolutely, of course, yeah.
But at some point, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
I can't do it at the level that I used to do it, so it becomes less fun. But
yeah, for sure. Right? And the price, the cost of trying to do it is higher than the value of what you get out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm a long mate. I've been doing full-time sports for 22 years or something like that, and I was doing sport before that as well. So I'm well worn, and it has to be profitable now. And time is of the essence, man. I can't fight forever.
You can't keep waiting, can you?
No. So wasting 2 months of my opportunity, and also without not going crazy, but my last fight was a huge win out in Russia against Olenek. I knocked him out. So I'm riding a wave of opportunity, and these guys are time is of the essence, and these guys have eaten 3 months of it.
Yeah.
That's the cost.
It just does. I saw a post today actually by finishers saying that it's something big's coming. I know you've seen the post as well. Do you think anything's coming?
Well, something big can mean anything, couldn't it?
Well, I mean, they were using the biggest fighter in the world as promotion at one stage. Now, I can't see Conor McGregor fighting on this card.
It's impossible. He's under contract to the UFC anyway.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, you wouldn't get Mayweather out there for 20 million.
Yeah.
GSP's happy. Khabib's happy.
Yeah.
No, everyone knew that was a joke, really. Everyone knew that. Them ideas were ridiculous. They're not realistic. Me fighting on it is realistic. I'm keen to fight on it, and I need them opportunities. But getting them strongmen fighting, I don't know how many people are looking to see strongmen fight each other.
I don't well, this was supposed to be the same night as Usyk versus Fury, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So if you're a fighting fan, you're going to buy a pay-per-view. You're not going to pay to watch two strongmen fighting that, okay, they're big humans. It might be fun to watch, but you're not going to kind of put your money on it when two of the best on the planet are going head to head. No,
I'm not sure many people would. I mean, there are some strongman fans, and Eddie's very popular.
Oh, massively popular. I mean, Eddie, Brian's really popular. Mitch is probably the least popular out of a lot of them, but his kind of following is growing rapidly right now. And obviously he's kind of current in terms of strongman. Martin Ford has got a decent following, but the money being thrown around was more than the likes of, what's the YouTuber that does the boxing?
KSI,
Jake Paul, yeah, they're talking more money than he's making in his fights, and his following is way bigger than all of them put together.
He was on one of the posters as well.
Oh, there you go. But he's promoting his own fights, isn't he?
Yeah, but he doesn't need them to do that.
Maybe that's something that someone like Eddie Hall might be able to do is promote his own fights. He's got a decent.
Yeah, maybe he's already thinking about that. I don't know.
I don't think there's going to be $20 million dollar fights for that, but I think if that's the way he wants to go, it's probably a more secure option. Maybe.
I think these guys could make $1 million from fights.
Hell,
I'd
fight another strong man for $1 million.
I'm liking the sound of this. Where do I invest?
Let's get it done, man. Let's get it done. But I'm sad for the guys because like you say, we've all got families. We all want to make sure that they're secure. And when you're an athlete, nothing is ever guaranteed. One injury, one bad kind of, mistake can end up costing you your whole career. So that, although as soon as I saw it, I was very, very skeptical. There was a small part of me hoping that would happen for the likes of you, for the likes of Mitch, and all the guys on the card, because you all work damn hard.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. I would have loved it to happen. It'd have been a victory for all the guys. Everyone getting rich. I wasn't going to be getting rich, but I was going to have a good year. I was going to have a good year.
So, I guess you're done with the Finishers Championships. Have you got any fights lined up, mate?
No, I wasn't available, so I was waiting for this. I've got my pro wrestling debut in March.
Yeah, where's that?
Yeah, in Hastings. I've started training for it.
Nice.
You know what? It's like a bucket list from my childhood. I'm sure we all had it, right? I'm sure you know the feeling.
Yeah, I used to absolutely love it. I actually got involved with like a small wrestling promotion in Wales a few years back.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Only for like a one-off night.
Yeah.
It was good.
Well, I've been running the turnbuckles and that, and doing a bit of work and that, and having a lot of fun. And probably you as well. There's a little bit of performer in me somewhere.
Yeah. Well, we love being on that stage, mate. We absolutely love it.
And I like exploring that character, because it's something you don't get to do anymore as much as you used to, probably for you as well. And I like exploring that character, being a bit like a bit more adventurous than you are on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely.
It's fun. So I'm kind of living that. I want my kids to come watch me fight without me getting busted up with elbows and knees. Although I probably still will get busted up.
It must be so hard being with a fighter. It must be hard for the family.
Yeah, so I want them to watch me fight, and they're going to come watch me wrestle some very, very experienced wrestler down in Hastings near where I live. So that should be a lot of fun. But I'm looking for an MMA fight as well. But we'll see. I don't know. Probably Russia for me, because I got a good thing going in Russia. Cool.
So you've had a few big fights in Russia now.
Yeah, I've had two in the last year. One boxing, one and one exhibition. I get one exhibition boxing and one big MMA fight.
Cool.
The exhibition boxing fight was a bit of a mess, but the MMA fight, I knocked out a legend out in his own hometown, and I really enjoyed it. And everyone else in the arena didn't, so it was amazing.
Oh, I bet that was interesting.
Loved it.
What's it like when you kind of like upset a crowd like that?
Oh, the arena went silent, and also I travelled to Russia on my own.
Wow.
My corner man let me down, didn't come. I still went, and I found some guys out there that were cool. They come and cornered me. I just said, look, just bring the water in. I'll do the rest. 2 minutes in, the guy's flat on his back. There's no feeling like it in life, like that feeling right there.
I bet.
And you know what? I talk about the best feelings in sports. There's different ones. There's some that you understand. Yeah. I talk about sometimes not even a big like strongman competition. I talk about the feeling when you're in the gym and you do stuff that the gym stops, and it's not an ego thing. It just feels good. It just feels good. You definitely know the feeling.
Yeah.
And that energy comes through you. And I miss that.
I was having this conversation with my wife recently, and I think you'll be the same. It's like, I want money for them. I want my family to have everything. All I want is a simple life. I love training and a simple life. Like if I was on my own, like training makes me happy. And when training's going well, that's the best feeling in the world. Or when you, like you say, when you're performing, you know, I've had moments in my career where you just think back and that was special. You know?
Yeah.
I can't bloody well do it now, but I look back and think,
Loz, you've won Europe's, you've won Britain's a few times. How many times have you won Britain's?
I won Britain's twice. Won Europe's, won world title. I've won a few.
So I'm curious. Sorry, you're asking the questions today, ain't you? But I'm asking the questions.
Sorry, people often spin it.
Some of my best memories are massive competitions. Some of my best memories are like little competitions where stuff was clicking. Is that for you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of my best memories aren't necessarily wins. There's certain moments, or you know, one of my favorites was like my last comeback when I competed at the Royal Albert Hall.
How many comebacks you got on your record?
Maybe a couple more. You never know. I get bored easily. The only problem is my body doesn't seem to want to do it, but
No,
mentally, I
does,
still
bro.
want to do it, buddy.
Yeah.
Mentally, I'm watching these guys, thinking I'd love to be up there.
Yeah.
The physical, you know, and it's one thing on the. I don't know how you find it. I don't know if you feel like it's getting tougher on the body. You're still super fit, in great shape, so maybe you're kind of coping well. But I find mentally, yes, 100%. I want to compete. I want to perform. It's just the build up to these comps. It just breaks me. Like I even did the Masters recently, and your training goes well for a little bit, and then it just gets harder and harder. And like, you know, I felt in good shape about a month before the World Masters, and then 3 weeks before, I just started picking up injuries, and my body started.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I train less. I force myself to train less because it's longevity. I'm looking for longevity and survival. And then when you do that, you can't quite be as good as you'd like to be because you're training less.
Yeah.
But you're better to be able to compete than not be able to compete because you're
absolutely. I'm training with some bodybuilders right now, and I'm absolutely loving it because it's not so heavy. We're still reasonably heavy, but a lot more repetition work, a lot less impact on the joints. And every week I'm seeing a bit of progress, and I'm enjoying it. So
nice.
As long as I can train and enjoy it, I'm happy.
It's hard to get anything new that you enjoy that level because we've been doing it so long. We've done everything. Yeah. I can't go and lift weights 5 days a week now. I can't do it.
It's no. It
doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it for me.
But that's the great thing that you found something else that you loved.
Yeah, but I've been doing that a while now as well.
You have to. I think for you and me and people like us, you have to have something. And whether, like for me, it was great that I found like the commentating side of things, presenting, YouTube, all this kind of stuff, coaching. I absolutely love coaching, and it's important that we have a focus. Because that's when our minds kind of start messing up with us when we don't have a focus.
Yeah, I always say a man needs to wake up in the morning with a purpose, or he gets lost.
Absolutely.
And I've had times where I haven't woke up that feeling, and that's when I feel that's when I get a bit down in the dumps because of that. I need a purpose.
Maybe it's good not to have these kind of like super fights with the big money because you might get bored and not have a purpose to get up in the morning.
I don't know. I was bored this morning. I was bored this morning.
Trying to put a strange spin on it, mate. You know, it is weird though. Like you're probably the same as me. Like you don't need the money for you. I know you've got like beautiful daughters, a family and stuff, and you want them to have the best things. And I'm exactly the same. You know, the money is for the family, but for us as men and as athletes, it's that personal kind of triumph, that challenge that it just keeps you driving. And like you said, getting you up in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of, as you get older, you have to be less competitive because reality's already hit you a few times.
How hard is that though?
It's hard to accept, but I'm a nicer guy now.
Oh yeah, I think we all are. I'm sure my wife will say I'm a lot nicer to live with than when I was pro. Let's say.
Yeah.
Because I think to be successful in sport, you have to be selfish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course you do. Of course you do. It comes with territory. To be the best, you got to put that above other stuff.
Yeah, and I guess in fighting it's even harder because it's you against another man in the ring, one-on-one. It's not like strongman where it's you against the weights. It's you against someone else, and you've got to, react to what they're doing to you as well.
Yeah, the result's very clear, isn't it? One guy has his hand raised, and you have to be second best sometimes, and it's hard to take. Then in strongman, there were certain times where there were certain guys like, I got to beat that guy. I have to beat that guy. Yeah. So it was sometimes a strongman competition in your own head is a one-on-one. It's like, I know he's the guy.
Yeah.
That year when I won Britain's, I knew Mark was the guy.
Yeah.
And different times like that. Do you know
Mark just did his 20th Britain's Strongest Man?
The guy's nuts. I love that guy.
20 of his last one. He's retired. He's retired from Britain's, but 20 competitions of Britain's Strongest Man.
Yeah, that will never be beat. That will never be better ever.
No chance. No chance.
They need to freeze Mark when his time comes and find out what's in him and recreate it.
He's an incredible man. But you've got your name like etched in that Britain's Strongest Man trophy. They did these kind of VIP kind of like plaque things, and they had all the winners on there, and I saw your name on there, mate. So
I love to see that, mate. You know what? So I don't know. I find it hard to, but I don't know whether I'm like somebody in strongman now because I was Britain's Strongest Man almost 20 years ago.
That's crazy.
Like, if you'd asked me who was Britain's Strongest Man 20 years ago when I was a strongman, I'd say I've got no idea who that wig guy might be. He walked past me, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I don't know if I'm anything special in strongman, but it felt special at the time.
Oh mate, you kind of you raised the level, and it made guys like me and Terry and Mark have to work so much harder. So
did you see what I posted the other day about it?
No.
Well, the World's Strongest Man posted about the 3 times winners for British Strongest Man.
Yeah.
And obviously, Tom had just won his 3rd. So I posted up, I shared it, saying good work, amazing athletes for all the 3-time winners. I also posted I'd be a 3+ times winner as well if I'd carried on. so I'm having fun with it as well. I'm having fun with my comment. Obviously, I'm a competitive guy. I believe in myself.
You'll have to come back and do a Masters comp.
Mate, I ain't got it in me, mate. My shoulders are dead.
Oh, mate, I'm the same. We'll have to find like a couple of events we can still do.
Just something we can do. A 1 event competition.
Yeah.
But mate, we'll get 200 million pay-per-views for sure.
Oh, definitely.
I'll pay you 100 million out of my own pocket, mate.
Oh, I can't wait, mate. Let's make it happen. Mate, I'd do it for nothing. It would be great to just come down.
Yeah. No, mate, I would love it. Mate, I'm gonna get up to a competition, Giants Love and soon, and we'll catch up in person because we don't do it enough. I've been a very distant character for you guys for quite a bit, but I care about you guys a lot, man.
Oh, we'd love to see you, mate. It's always, come to Europe or something like that, mate. You'd have a blast.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's a different thing in that. I would love. There's lots of stories that I'd love to explore more with you guys, with you, with Terry, with Mark.
We could have some interesting chats. Just thinking back to some of the, the team comp that we did in Ukraine.
Oh yeah, man, that was crazy. But I would love for us, either in a room or even just online like this, at some point, just to explore some of the feelings and times. And I just think it'd be so interesting.
Ask the people watching right now, who wants to see like maybe me, Oli, Terry Hollins, maybe like Mark Felix or someone else, all like sat chatting, like a round table type thing. That would be pretty.
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing, especially if we talk about the gritty stuff, the feelings at certain times.
Nice now. It's very like it's showbiz now. Back then,
yeah.
No, we had some shit.
I mean, I'd really enjoy that, mate. Just find out if the boys are interested.
I will do, mate. I'm sure they will be, and I'm sure people would love to listen. So we'll work on that.
Because like me and Terry, for example, as well. Me and Terry have got such an interesting. We're great friends on that. We're always so good with each other. But I know how I felt. I know how he felt at one point. Was like,
it's so funny, isn't it? Like we're all big rivalries. Where you and me kind of missed out, but me and Terry were big rivalries. Mark Felix. But it's so funny when you get to the end of your career as well, because you all mellow.
Yeah.
You're like. Yeah. It was, back then it was like we wanted to rip each other's heads off and competition. Whereas now we're all kind of like chilled and a lot more relaxed. And
it's great to talk about it now.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I know, obviously, Finishers Championship's not what we wanted it to be. Maybe something will come of it, I can't see it personally, but I'll keep my fingers crossed for the guys. I hope you get some big fights lined up.
If massive money arrives in my bank in the next few days, I'm going to claim this is AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't me talking to Loz.
We'll get it burnt.
That wasn't me. It's a lookalike.
Yeah, it's Liz dressed in a wig.
Yeah. Loz, you liar, mate. Stitching me up.
Mate, always a pleasure to talk to you. We'll
and you, mate. See you soon, yeah?
Well, thanks for coming on. Take
care,
care, mate.
Mate.
Cheers.
Speak soon.